that comes with taking the tickets, you know, these players from other
clubs. Ambrose now.
Having a look and when it's not
every morning we don't.
Why should you be?
I hear you. How about it? Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. You know, they've had a great season.
I like you, Kofi. Good day, sir.
A different side about Jack Bruce, you know, that he's still suffering with that injury, which is a bonus.
I can see him. I like already there. I can see him.
To Aston Villa.
Welcome. Ambrose, welcome. Members, welcome.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Alaji.
Afternoon.
How are you, sir?
All right.
We'll start by 12, exactly 12. Let's see, hold on to 12. Start by 12, few minutes to 12. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, good afternoon, all. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Ambrose.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
We're about to start. Pick one. Let somebody just pray for us for just short prayer. Very short prayer, please. Also, let's mute our mic. We're not talking, please.
Okay. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for a day that you made it wonderful like this. Thank you for thy guidance. Thank you for thy protection. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving your Son the wisdom to put together what is going to disseminate to us today. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Come and take dominion. Come and direct and guide us in all that we will discuss, and let it be beneficial to us. For this we pray in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, we want to look at want to review the market first before going to question and answer. I know that many of us have a question to ask, but want to look at the market performance in the just 4 trading day because of the Easter holiday. But I will tell you that the market still remains volatile as we speak, and at the same time, the end of Friday trading. Now, looking at the weekly chart, we have seen that the candlestick are giving us a resistant candle fine that the market might likely go up. I will tell you that there are other factors behind the market that we need to explain. You as an investor should know how to take your position in this period. Especially, I will tell you that we have done 20 years data analysis on Nigeria Stock Exchange to look at the quarterly performance of our market. And we saw from our research that the month of April and the second quarter of the year have always been in a green market, but what just for 15 years, 15 years out of the 20 we have researched. And also on the chart we're going to display now on this discussion, here this chart started from 2013, the one on the display now. We want to show you what we have seen also in terms of quarterly performance, and that should guide you. And you know that we are already in earnings season, that are going to extend to April because of the quarterly because of the quarterly results we are expecting. On that note, I want us to just take time and see how our portfolio is going to go from now, and also how to buy right in this season, because things are happening already. The yield in the fixed income market is already going up, but there are factors that are going to redirect this yield that's going up now. All we're going to discuss in the course of our review. Because one, if we said in the month of April and the second quarter of the year, market goes up, yeah, it tells you that there are factors that also support the market this period. One, to be earnings, a policy around, and also economic data that come at this season during that last 20 years data we analyzed. And also we're looking up to also any season ahead now as we speak. The Q1 will start coming at the second week of April, which is the week we are entering, and also expecting economic data to start coming in that same week, because for the consumer price index data was expected to come on the 15th of this month, while the GDP will come on the 30th of April within this same month. These data also give us insight on where we are going. But I always say that capital market is a leading indicator. Could the Q1 we're expecting that will start coming out from next week will tell us what we're going to see in terms of GDP. And also, if you look at how the market has performed and the economy for last year and the the first quarter of this year, you should give you an insight that our corporate Nigerians or corporate companies on the exchange has really beat expectations in terms of performance. Despite the COVID-19, we can see also the impact of the government taking a proactive action to intervene here and there, which also reflected on some sectors and the companies in that sector, in industry in that sector. But also going forward, what are we expecting that this thing will speed over? For me, I see that the last GDP we had in 2020 was good for us to cross from a negative two quarters to positive the last quarter. Fine. And also, if you look at the index of the market also, look at that last quarter of 2020, there was a sharp movement in the index in the last quarter of 2020. And ask yourself, what are the factors responsible for this sharp movement in the index? I will tell you that the high cap stocks were up. It didn't reflect much on the low cap stocks and other medium stocks, because those high cap stocks control about 70 to 60%, 60 to 70% of the market index. So when they were up, their prices are up. Now that we are seeing the real market activities in the first quarter, because those companies are not moving sharply the way they did in the last quarter, we are not seeing full reflection of the market. That's why, like what we discussed in the master class, that market within the market, you need to look at it, sector performance, sectoral performance, and industry performance. That will go a long way to guide you. And these sectors I was saying, they are volatile now, creating an opportunity for us to make money if we can bring ourselves to those sectors and they stop in that sector. Like what I discussed in that, have hot stocks in a hot sector, and you need to pick those hot stocks in that sector to make money. And that is what will guide you this period, because there's always opportunity in the market at any time. But like as we discussed also, that this is not a time for you to look at to make a 50% in a week or in a month. No, set your trading target that now, like what I also discussed, that the market as we speak now is for short term. Why is it for short term? If you look at the variables that are happening both in money market, fixed income, and equity market, I'll tell you the market now is for short term market. Why? That means you need to be wise and also invest wisely. If you're a trader, open your eyes to see that you are not putting a target that is unachievable. Put a reasonable target when you are taking your investment, setting your investment goal for a trader short term. But for the long term investor, I don't have anything contrary. Don't like buy good stocks and hold for long term. Good stock that you know that dividend paying stock. If you are a pensioner or you are a retiree, you need to earn money on like 2 times or 3 times in a year. For like those companies that pay quarterly, like stock like Stepler that pay quarterly, but the price is high. Stock like all those banking stocks that pay 2 times in a year. Do this for long term investor, fine for income. But for traders, this is time for you to take advantage of movement of stock up and down. And those factors that will guide the movement are already on ground. One, there will be possible restructuring at the end of the first quarter, which already was to the second quarter. If investors are moving funds to one stock or the other, one sector to that, you need to look at what is the trend. Like I discussed, that you should look at your money flow index and also your moving average. That will guide you where they are putting money and why they are up there. If you understand this, take wise investment decision this period. Like I just said for the market has been down for, let's say, 2 weeks now, because after market gain the previous 3 weeks back, The week after this was red and not for a weekly. I'm looking at the chart, you can see it on the chart here. But now, as we speak, market has given us a sign of what? A candlestick that represents what? A decline. That represents resistance to a decline, sorry. That means the market is trying to say, I'm not going down from here. And you say, what factors are behind? One, if you look at the money flow index on the daily chart, it's already above 50. On the weekly chart, the money flow is below, a little below what? 50%, 50 points in terms of money flow. But if you look at the sentiment for the market within the week under the 4 trading days, the sentiment is positive in terms of what? For having buy position than sell position. And you see that the market gained marginally for these 3 days, straight 3 days. But on the 4th day of the week, the market lost about 0.39%. That is why the remaining week that again, it was unable to rise, the market still remain on negative of what? 0.13. For me, this will also open your eye to say where we are heading from this point now. You as an investor, you should know the position you are taking. Am I taking position against the expected earnings season? Like what I discussed in the Mastering Earnings Season tape video that we released early last year that I see is for this everlasting material. There are how to position for any season. I know that any season is always 4 times in a year. If you know how to position now, if you are being in some stocks that we're looking at their technical analysis, taking at their support level and breakout, because you know their expected release days of this company, you position ahead. And also not only that, like what we discussed, that look at the sector where we have what the price action and consumption. How the consumption will come about demand and supply. Where you think that you are seeing the opportunity or the unfolding event that sector that it will support the numbers coming from that sector in terms of demand and supply. No, that is for the market. Why consumption for the industry? Is there demand for that kind of goods in that sector? Is the service in that sector is it expanding? That also guide you where to enter before now. If you have done that, you're expecting the numbers to come. And if the number come in your expectation, the way of your expectation, and price rally, don't wait to make 40% before you bail out. As a trader, once you are making between 10 to 15, 18%, you are good to run out of the position and move to another stock. But for those that are waiting to make 50%, you might wait and the market will not take you there. That's why I say this is the time for you to predict your investment objective, your trading style, your buying and exit strategy, so that you can go with the market as you speak. But now that the market has given us sign that it's trying to resist the decline, we need to go for those two. And those sectors that are hot, also you need to identify them. How do you identify them? Look at your money flow index, where it's going, look at your moving average, and also looking at what reversal pattern of the candlesticks. These are very, very important. Your MACD and your relative insight will help you technically. Why? Fundamentally, look at what the numbers were that are coming. The numbers that come also guide you where they have a better number. Those that have reached that have high the market responding to them. Because those high caps that have rallied up, if their first quarter do not meet expectation, they are the one that will drag market down because they're going to suffer losses. But for those that are in good stocks, that their earnings will be positive, what the number from market will react to it, because there's already the position of a position by institutional investors and the fund managers, and also high cap high network investors already or traders in the market. That means you also should go in that direction, because those high cap stocks that are bringing the market up in December, and also if their earnings are expected, their earnings are not there, they will prefer to go to even yield. Because if those high cap stocks are not returning enough, they want to go to where they have less risk. They go to what fund. But if they are seeing opportunity in those medium and low price stocks that have opportunity to move, knowing that in equity market, stock can move 10% in a day, and also some yield coming in terms of good performance compared to the inflation that's in the market that we're expecting the figure to come in this week we're entering. Many investors will look at, let's prefer going to some stock, let's take the risk. Why some people will take this to remain in the fixed income? For that, as a trader in the market, you need to look at those stocks that are strength, which I believe those that that participated in the master class has area of stock to look at, the hot stock to look at, so that we give the band rate. And also this morning I've studied the stock that were recommended for those that came. I see that some have made move already, but we are still expecting that to go target to projected in the training. But there's some already making move because of what? Because of what others are seeing. So that's why you would have entered earlier when others are seeing what you saw earlier before them, as they are coming, price go up. That is where you can make money. That's why as a trader investor, you position before others, because one, you're able to find out a trend on time. Another see that trend coming, you are already at the beginning of the trend, you enjoy more higher return. And I see that our all share index, as we speak here, still has potential to go even back to that 42, the 42 mark, it thought it break out a little for coming. This possible are going to surpass it. It depends on these economic data we're expecting and also the first quarter earnings. If they come with pre-market expectation, fine. The only fear is just because of the inflation and also the economic policy and what is happening in the economy. But if the government is able to nip this insecurity here and there, and we'll see that people can come in and do business in Nigeria, I see that things are likely to look up. If things look up, the market will be the best place for you to play now. And that is why you need to buy right in the right sector and the right stock and position and wait, because every investment is against expectation. If you are positioned against expecting number, if those numbers come again, don't forget that these numbers do not meet your expectation. Don't just hesitate to want to cut your loss. Don't just because you want to pamper, you want to be romancing the stock. No, just cut your loss and move to the next one that has the opportunity to recover your loss. That is why we always have a loss stop loss in invest data. That our own stop loss is 7%. Why in other but that's so that you can even recoup that loss in another position if you move. But if those stocks you enter, you're a long-term investor, what attracted you in those stocks are still there. You can still hold on to see them mature. But if the results come within your expectation, you will quickly jump out of that position for traders. And that's why for those that came, I'm already watching, things attracted us to take position in those stocks are still very much intact. As we're expecting earnings to come. Once earnings start coming, we'll see a change. We'll communicate immediately so that we can know what to do. And that is the benefit of the Telegram group. The Telegram group is not for us to be posting what we post, not that sentiment report. No, it's for us to look at those stocks we have selected, those stocks that have marked for this 90 days, how they are moving. Then we cannot be giving updates. When we see that what attracted us to those stocks are not, they will communicate immediately. For me, this is the time for you to just take time and invest right, because the market will still return good money for those that will invest wisely. Don't just follow bad wagon. Invest intelligently by targeting those sectors, because if you are looking at the market index, you'll be deceived. Look at the sectors, now that they are volatile, they are changing activities there. Look at where would I have opportunity to enter. Because like what I said, if you look at the banking stock, that it seems that those sector is going up and down. There are opportunities in that banking sector. Things that will drive the price, seeing the first quarter going forward are unfolding gradually. As an investor, know how to get some stock in that banking sector and position on time. So that when things are unfolding, you are already in those stock. Don't come and buy when information is made public already. No, you need to position ahead of information. When it comes, and that gives you an opportunity to stay ahead of others in the market. That is very, very important as we speak now. For me, we don't need to panic. Yes, I want to quickly call up another chart. I just displayed the chart. I wanted to show you the Fibonacci retracement on this chart. I don't know whether you are seeing it here, but let me see what I can do to make it. Okay. Here is the. Are you seeing the chart here? Sorry. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes. We can see.
Okay. You can see that this is the Fibonacci retracement here. You can see it's still within the 38.2. For me, it's still very okay. The market has not deviated from what we're expecting. You look at when we draw the Fibonacci in the last two classes before we went for holiday for the training, it's still there. It has not changed. For me, but the good thing is that the candle formation for after last week shows me that the market is resisting the decline. And also you can see that there was 3 days uptrend we saw. And I said it again that the sentiment is more on a buying position for that 3 days. It says that people are taking advantage of what some low cap stocks and the medium cap that has potential to return good money. And that's the way you and I in this class should also invest. Look at those stocks that has potential that you can position on time and and follow the trend. Don't wait the trend to be up there before you jump in. Let the trend now we're seeing a reversal pattern already here from the candlestick. That means you should start taking position in those stocks. Like those that are in the training, if you are yet to take position and those stocks are still in that buy range, go ahead this week you are entering to buy your stock. Because once you start seeing the earnings are from 15th or the upper week, market will change. Because those numbers that have maintained an uptrend earnings starting from 2020, if that's extended to 2021, that those stock will still maintain their uptrend. I can see some of the stock already reacting, in expectation of earnings, changing up and down and going, up. For me, those stocks will be a guide for you to know that we're expecting the market to go up. But the fixed income market, yes, look at it, because you remember that when the Debt Management Authority announced the fund activities for the second quarter. That was on Tuesday after the market was already in the shaking. When we see the timetable or the calendar, it gives an insight what's expected, and so the market started readjusting. I see that once inflation comes, and inflation, as I think, we don't expect inflation to come down this expectation as we're expecting the March one. That means the higher it go, the higher more interesting those in fixed income market. And the only way they can edge their investment again, is to come back to equity. That's why I say on the short term, we see equity market for me is a place to be. Then when these funds are coming back, yes, they might like to also add more momentum to the market, and those that position early will also be smiling. Yes, also you might say that they might want to stay there. They might try to stay down there and not coming back. But I believe that they are likely to come back because of what they want to protect their fund and also make money. Because when the inflation continue to go high, it will become a threat to the fund that might ban their returns. Already their returns are already in red, in negative. But when it becomes, the margin becomes the wide of the negative become high, they are likely to redirect their funds to equity market. But as far as the money flow index on the daily chart, the men above 60, but on a weekly, little below 50. I see that adjustment up is very near. For me, you don't need to also to panic. That's why before I go into question and answer, I want to quickly show you another chart that will guide us to look at the market as we speak now. Hello. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
If you look at this,
yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. If you look at this chart on display now, these are quarterly what performance of the market for the last 6 years, starting from 2014 to 2021. And we want to look at the second quarter of this of the market for this last 6 years. You see that out of the last 6 years, we have 4 years that the market, the second quarter was up, and only just for 2 years in terms of that is 2018 and 2019. Others, the market was up. To start from here, look at this scenario here. This is the second quarter 2014. Market was up, even when the first quarter was in a down market. Even when it was a down market, the market was up for that year. If you come down here in 2015, are you there? You can see that the market also was up in the second quarter, despite that the third quarter and the last quarter first quarter was red, but in the second quarter, market will stand there, decline, said no market gain for that period. That tells you that the correction we are seeing now, for me, it should not panic us. It's expected after the market are rallying 2020. For me, it's just for us to look at our investment objective and flow with the market. Also, this for 2015. If you come here, this 2016 again, the same second quarter, and it's comprised of April, May, June, market was up. If you also come to 2017, and this one was switched, you can see that the candlestick here is the longest candlestick compared to what we have seen so far. Say that this second quarter was on. This was when the market rallied. Remember, in 2017, it was that at the end of March, when investors are coming back to what to also that is when we also came out from recession. To also you can see that in that see that the market had a huge rally here in 2017, but in 2018, that was the first time the market was down in 2018. As pre-election year, and also when market had rallied first, also the month. Remember that was the time started seeing a change, in the first month of the year, and the pattern changing that every first month of the year. We are seeing a new pattern in the last 4 years. That was towards the market. That was what we saw a decline here. And also that same decline was repeated in 2019. You can see it here. For C market tried to resist decline. You can see after touching as low as here, it went up close here. But in 2020, the market also turned up again in the month. And that's why I said that when I saw this last candle here, you can see this candle is already that the market is resisting a decline in the month of April already, which is the first month of this quarter. I expect that this also will see a positive quarter. I expect that if the earnings were expecting beat expectation as what we saw for the full year. If that trend is maintained, I think that the market also will move up. Don't forget, I said earlier that liquidity and sentiment plus earnings will support price. But if we see a better earnings, now that we're seeing little liquidity coming back to the equity market, I see that it's going to push the market up again. That means you need to be in the right stock now. Don't procrastinate. Buy right stock and position in the right sector. As the trend start changing, we expect that. As the trend starts changing, we expect that things also will look up for me. For that, we don't have anything reason to panic or say we are staying outside the market. No, we need to also be in the market as we speak now, because factors for the market are not there. They are not distributing. This earning we are expecting. That would be for us. That would be a good for us. That would be a good one for us. And for me, let us just position and right stock as we expect the earnings to hit the market. Like I always said, you don't wait for the earnings. If you're a trader, it will be in stock before the earnings comes to the market. Thank you, and I start expecting questions from the review and from every other question we have for the session. If any contribution again, you can equally also push to the, the discussion that we can share what to have. Thank you, and God bless you all. Yep. Hello.
Thank you, Ambrose.
Yes, sir. Any question, any addition, or that can move on?
Yes, Ambrose, thanks for the presentation. For like you mentioned, for the past 3 days, we've seen some marginal uptrends.
Yes.
But is this not something that might look like a window dressing?
Window dressing, well, the month of window dressing, if you are to be on the first, on the second, third, we say it's window dressing. We're already in the month of April. I'm saying that it's possible a short frame and a position that we're seeing now, not window dressing. People move from one sector to the other to buy right and to position in good stock. That is what we're. And also, like I said, this trend we have seen in 2020 is some stock that has good fundamentals and good numbers. If they maintain it, already people that are institutional investors, they know what they are doing. That's why there's kind of possibility. So they're buying some stock, they're selling lots of stock. For me, since the market is having a more of buy position, not a sell position, tells that funds are coming back, put the indicator money flow have shown for the daily chart. So on the week chart is still looking at below 50s marginally. For me, I feel that by next week, because being the any season for first quarter, you know that first quarter is also a season that gives insight to what should be expected from the year. And once the investors see the trend, any company come with their first number, it attracts them to start position for the year, knowing that if you position early, you're going to laugh at last. That's why first quarter result is very important to usually those long-term investors and some institutional investors. Why they use it to position for the year, because they are long-term, but because they are position for the year, they are not going to sell. That kind of also helps stock to maintain an uptrend. Don't forget what happened in 2020. It's not because that the economy was good, because there was liquidity, and also the company that already number have given us some number. Despite the lockdown, those numbers were also part of what attracted people to stay in some stocks till the end of the year, which is smile. They even beat the market performance for the year 2020 because they stay in those positions for long term. But for traders, I don't encourage that you stay in any position as you are in position now. Trade, don't make short money, you also go out. Make enter money, make 20%, 15%, 10%, 50%. Come on, don't wait until you make 50% before you go out because you're a trader. Yeah, but those that have to portfolio, like always advise, they are putting some stock we are accumulating for long term. This is the time you are going to accumulate them, because when their first quarter come and they beat expectation, that also attracts more people there. You are already there. And second quarter comes, you now see that the trend is up. You can hold. That is also at the end of the year to support their dividend payout. But for investors, for traders, we are there to make money on the short run. That's why those that attended the master class is just for 90 days. After that 90 days, that group will be dissolved. We'll not put another one for the next section again, so that we can see how we can make money on quarterly basis based on any expectation, based on other happenings in the market, to take advantage of the market. That is the way I expect it should be. For me, this is not in good dressing at this point, because we're already in the month. And not only that, we're expecting the earnings, also we're expecting economic data, which I told you that if inflation will not go to the up, but that alone, when they announce the figure, it's going to also redirect activities from investment in some other windows to say, oh, because I don't see inflation coming down until September, when we start seeing harvest. And also this security thing is stop or put to a very minimum before. But for now, expect that this thing will maintain an uptrend. Why was this saying a little slow down in not jacking fuel price again? Is because the oil price is still oscillating. I'm telling you, once it hits $70 again, the same government will tell you that they want to increase this price. And that also going to add more momentum to inflation. For that, we don't need to just buy the right stock, and especially for a trader, we are going to make money even with all this missed economic data and mismatch and policies from here and there. But if you are in the right stock, only movement you are in the market will also be making money. That is the truth. I don't see as investing because despite that they are marginal, but maintain an uptrend within the period from 0.2 to 0.7 to 0.17. Let's see what happened on Monday. For me, the market is telling that there's something for investors, for traders going forward. And if no economic data, GDP that come on the 30th of April come powerfully, also let me draw attention that look at the World Bank. They have changed the forecast for Africa, for Nigeria, because they see that this passing year, that's why there's little lockdown here and there. They see that activities is going to improve, that will support global economic recovery and the local economic recovery. For that, I see that going forward, once we see a positive GDP for first quarter, which we're expecting, then it will tell you how far we go. And that also will direct fund and also perception and sentiment in the market.
Okay, thank you, Ambrose.
Welcome, sir.
Hello, Ambrose.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for a very nice presentation. But I just want to ask some question.
Okay, sir.
This Jaiz Bank,
okay,
the thing is going up and down.
That's market for you.
Okay, livestock.
Okay.
And police microfinance. I don't know. Do you have anything to say concerning these stocks?
Yeah, I will start for police microfinance. Police microfinance is still stable, and they've said that they've sent their number to CBN for approval. That is the latest information in the market. That means for us, we are not afraid. We have seen their unaudited account already that they have about 39 to 38 kobo earning per share. And in their previous year, 2019, they paid about 20 kobo from almost an earning per share of around the same level, 37 again, about 42, 41. They are also likely to pay even that 20 kobo. If they are paying that 20 kobo again, even your yield is higher, that would be an attraction. And when it comes, market will react to it. But if they pay 25 kobo, you see the way the market reacts, even though because of people are still playing with some form of reservation. You see what happened in the price of USN. It moved before the first supply, but that stock will still maintain that momentum when it's closer to the markdown. For me, for police market, there's no cost for life. You are there, hold on to see the result. Now they send the result to CPN. CPN, once they approve it, they publish it for us to know. That we're only seeing to see their dividend news. We have seen their unaudited account, which I know that it won't deviate much from unaudited account we saw for the year 2020. They released between January and February. For me, let's do a separation. For livestock, it's a stock that your eyes should be. If you're in livestock, don't need to panic. The company have done well, only that they didn't pay dividend. And you can see that what they don't pay dividend, that means they are plowing back their little money into expansion. And also, every stock in the market is not for dividend paying. There are some good stock and some quality stock that pay dividend. I see that livestock as a good stock that's trying to gather momentum first before they can start paying out. Not only that, look at the shareholding structure of that company. And the share initial is not more. And those that are asked the IHL will not be trading the stock. That means all you are seeing is little of oscillation in price is for you to buy right and know when to exit. For me, when their first quarter results come to the market, I expect it to maintain the momentum we saw in 2020. And because government interest or intervention there did not withdraw it. Not only that, we know that because of feed now in the market because of maize. No, for me, I see that stock should maintain that momentum. If you are there, still hold on. Yes, you might not have dividend because it pay, but capital appreciation can give you good return, and that return might be above inflation. But for Jaiz, I told you that Jaiz is a bank that has another popular business, and also for them to maintain their 3 kobo dividend they paid at 6 naira. Yes, the yield at 6 kobo at the end of 62 at the end of Friday. The yield might not be too much. Which other stocks that are selling below, that price is given to the 3 kobo. But for those that really want to stay in the sector where Jaiz operating, can hold on. But unless you want to move out, you want to really trade, and say, let me say and look other stock that has lower prices at the same payout. But most times, those ones that has lower prices, they are not as liquid as Jaiz. Jaiz is in the banking sector that is liquid. If you want to move to other stock, fine, you can make money then, but they are not liquid. But most times, you want to sell those stocks that are almost paying the same 3 kobo with Jaiz, and the market didn't go your side, your way, you might be hooked. But for me, if you are in Jaiz, still hold on, look at their first number. Even their markdown date is not immediately. Before their markdown date, if their first quarter comes and the price see the result is positive and market respond to it, it goes up. Come on, you might not be waiting for the 3 kobo dividend. If you are just hold on and also watch.
Mr. Ambrose, thank you, sir. Please, sir, I want to know what happened to Guinness. It rallied and is downtrend now. And then also Fidelity and MTN.
Fidelity, for me, if Fidelity number is looking up and their payout is okay, if Fidelity don't need to panic, for example, now, if you are in Fidelity, it's a simple common analysis. Some common analysis, Fidelity is paying you 22 kobo, while First Bank is paying you what? 45 kobo. That means 30 of Fidelity is giving you, going to give you 66 kobo. And compared to that of First Bank that's going to pay you 45 kobo, it's better you go to Fidelity. For me, if you're Fidelity, hold on Fidelity, take your dividend and wait. Because whatever I rub up in the sector was also a part in Fidelity. For me, good. For MTN, you know, I say it's one of the high cap stocks too. But I'm telling you, MTN now is enjoying some, you know, good demand for their data and other stuff. But let's take it like this. If MTN performance do not look up the first quarter, the price will still come down. But only that it takes an way for you to buy low because others in that sector, especially Airtel, is high. But because they are not, Airtel is not trading the high volume needed 100,000, that's it remain a bit stable there. But for MTN has potential to go up to like 200 naira, 300 naira, depending on the performance of the company and also market perception going to the future. For me, if you're an MTN, you don't need to panic out. Fine, see one of the fancy stuff, but you have to also be careful because if at the end of this same what they are registering and some sims are blocked and cancel that. It's going to affect across all the industry. But less right now because that's the only fear I have. If the way they are going and the government has to put those that didn't register their line or those they close them, going to reduce their sales and also the consumption of the data we are saying. For that, if you are playing that story, you can sell half there if you are there and keep half. But if you are really a long-term investor, you can hold on because if at the end of the day and this digital economy is sustained Nigeria, these are the sector that will have long-term potential because the digital economy, you need data and you need a good communication component or sector to run the digital economy. And Nigeria is stepping into digital economy. That is the potential we are seeing in that sector. Yeah. Hello.
Commercial paper was fully subscribed.
Yeah, it is also telling you that they have confidence in the company because of the sector is operating fine. That is simple. And their business can support to maintain that commercial paper. It also gives you an insight that people are seeing potential in that industry, especially in the company too. Yeah.
So you've not addressed.
Go ahead. Hello. Hello.
Guinness
for me, Guinness is expected to adjust them because what that rally from as low as 19 naira to the price. Profit taking is bound to hit Guinness at this point. And also we're expecting Guinness result. No matter that Guinness third quarter. And that third quarter, people are also factoring that. Look at what other company in that sector has done in their last year performance. They are not too fantastic. If you have made almost more than 11 naira or 13 naira from 19 naira to 32, 35, it's good for you to come out now. For me, you have to come out and work because the number that came from other companies in that sector shows that that sector is still not struggling. I don't see Guinness bringing a different number from them. Despite the previous number, the second quarter, there's a little improvement in terms of their quarterly performance. But I don't see them paying dividend as related to their price that will support the price. For me, it's right for you to take profit. Like those in buyers now, they know that I've given them a sell alert on Guinness before now. Because I don't recommend it, but because it's a platform that buy and sell. When we see technically that some stores that are already at overbought region, you can alert our followers. I don't recommend, but we alert them that this stock that overbought region, you can start what existing there. I can see that since that hit the market, the price that also start coming down. Then if you are there, take profit for now. When you are just lower to a good level, you see the result, you can enter. Take profit, you can enter at 14 naira because it's time moving from 14 naira, 14 to 19, to almost 35. You can't be waiting there. Unless you are greedy, once you take profit from that stuff. But don't jump in now. until you see another strong support level before you go. Now that it's falling, don't jump in. Wait until you find the level.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Ambrose.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please, thank you for your effort on these activities. I just want your opinion on this Dangote flour. It has been stagnant for a while. No movement on it. I don't know what happened.
Dangote flour.
Yes.
There's not like Dangote flour anymore now. Dangote have been sold to Ola for a long time now.
Okay, I didn't notice that.
It has been listed, yes, yeah.
So what do we do to it now? Can we still sell?
No, if you have Dangote flour before now, you go to one EB something registrar at the liquid, you go there, they pay you off, they give you, because they sold the company to another company, they pay minority shareholder off at it's not 24 naira, around 22, 24 naira. Go there, they give you your money. Yeah.
Which what register is that?
It's EBC. I can't remember fund now, but I know that it's registered at the liquid. If I remember after the class, I can tell you.
It has been changed. The EDC is now called Crescent Registrar.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So it's the Crescent Registrar that you go, and what you will do, just fill your e-dividend, submit it through your banker address to that, and they will pay you the dividend. If they didn't do it, they may ask that you may attach your banker's confirmation where your amount is huge. But if your amount is less than 1 million, I assume it's just you fill e-dividend, Crescent Registrar, you will see it that they still put EDC. But actually it has been changed to Crescent Registrar, but it's the same email, the same address. Send your e-dividend, you will get your payment made at 24 naira per share. And this money is available for you since November 2019. So it's almost getting 2 years. You should try to collect your money so that you do something else with it. Or alternatively, you can route it through your broker, and your broker can help you to get your money.
Okay, thank you very much, Alaji.
Thank you, sir.
What of what's your position on this flour mills now?
Is it the Nigerian flour mill?
Yes, yes.
Okay, the flour mill is just trying to be stable, but to me, anytime the price is 28 naira, is good to enter into it, because their 9 months results show an earning per share of 4 naira. So technically, they are likely going to make between 5 to 6 naira for their end, and that gives them a better position. And we see that it can go as high as 35 or above.
Okay, so you advise that we still put on it?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Hello, Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, please. I need from Alhaji. I need a clarification from Dangote Flour Mills. So we have been paid for the consideration, but that is still appearing on my e-trade account, and I've been calling APT to remove it from my account. So is that one is giving me wrong? Is it account balance? So I don't know if Alhaji will respond to that.
What you do, please let me know the account, because actually it doesn't appear in many accounts. I don't know why it is appearing in your account. I can give it to head of my IT to look at it so that they will address it immediately. You have my number. You can text me. I will make sure that they address it by Monday.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
Hello, Ambrose. Good afternoon. I'm thinking of going bullish on UCAP at this current price, 5 naira 40 kobo. Is it advisable?
Yeah, for UCAP, even on this forum, I've discovered that UCAP has potential. But before, I will say it again that my target to enter UCAP was between 4 naira and 40 kobo. It touched at 445 per pound, and I just to 440 to 485. It didn't touch that for 85. I'm still waiting. But if you have the strength to enter that price, it's okay, because I think that stock will go up. Especially when their first quarter comes, it's going to also look up. That was also we're driving for that price for that up. But if you are there, just hold on, don't sell your UCAP. You can enter if you have the money. But for me, my own target is to buy UCAP between 440 and 485. It has not touched there. And around between now 520 also, I adjusted. It has not touched there. But if you can buy it above that, but you can wait to come down to that 52, 520, or at 560 you want to buy, fine, no problem. But my buying range now is between 485 and 520 again. To see they are not touch it. Yeah.
Ambrose, at the current price, 5 naira 40.45, for me, you can take your profit. Definitely sure you'll get UCAP lower than 5 naira. It's just a matter of time. UCAP doesn't pay interim dividend. What it is going to happen is not likely to sustain that price from now to next year. So you can take your money, move somewhere where you can earn your dividend or something, and you will come back and enter UCAP around 4 naira 50 kobo or below. UCAP last year paid 50 kobo, 2019, traded as low as 2 naira.
Yes,
so when you use small cap, it's never been bought by institutional investors. You hardly see any institutional investor like PF, foreign investors going into UCAP. They still target a small player. A small player is not for the big institutional. Now it's trading above 5 naira, you can take your money.
Thank you very much, sir. But to add to what Alaji say, depends on your investment objective. If you're a long-term investor, fine. But if you're a trader, sell off now and come back. But also the price range has still remain at between that 480 to 420. Depends on your investment goal. Just like you just said, if you're in profit, take your profit. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Sir. Yeah.
Maybe it's worth waiting. I'm not in already, so I can wait until I get it at a good price.
Okay, and not dilute better.
I'm not in already.
Okay, Ambrose, what's your advice on Afri-Prudential?
Afri-Prudential, just like Elijah just said, these are companies that they are only just dividend-driven stocks. Through the end of the year, Afri-Prudential move up, even like UCAP. UCAP is just changing a trend because they are expanding their business, and also people are seeing potential in UCAP because they have used the bond they did in UCAP to invest, which repeated on their number. For Afri-Prudential, for me, Afri-Prudential, don't jump to Afri-Prudential at this point. Wait for that one to adjust them because their major source of income is the district business. It's not as rich as before. If you look at their full year result for 2020, that did not contribute much to their bottom line because of the changing environment, because of COVID-19. For me, wait for that stock to pull back for it to jump in. Yeah, for dividend income investor, fine, it's a good one, but don't buy at this price. Let's see how it will go. But also, it depends on the number that will come as we're expecting their first quarter and going through the year. But for me, because they are end of the year stock that pay dividend, can wait for after pressure to come down before it comes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Why is that?
Hello. Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you for the talk. Yes. I just wanted to find out about 3 stocks really. BUA and ETI, because I realized that there was a time ETI reaches almost 7 naira, but now it's trading at between 4 and 5 naira. If I'm correct. I don't know. I need your advice. I know I entered ETI at in the price of 4 or 5 naira, over 5 naira, but it has been a bit stagnant for some months now, and I really need your advice on the way forward on that. And another stock too that's in that stagnant is Red Star. So I don't know whether one should just get out and use the money to invest in other stocks. But of course, with all the commission and all that, even if one is selling at this price, it's going to be at a loss. So I just need your advice and any other person in the house.
Okay, you mentioned the 2 stocks, ETI and Red Star. I'll start with the
and BUA.
ETI. For me, ETI moved up and down during that market rally because of sentiment and all. If you look at ETI for the last 6 years have not paid investor dividend. Because it was delayed, people enter at the low price, I said, but it's not always that people look the way of such stock because there are 2 other reasons that people invest for equity. But if the price is not going up now, for me, I would advise that you hold on for it to come down more, you buy, or if you are dead, you can probably cut your loss and move to that stock because I don't see that stock will really result, a market will respond to it the way they respond to others that are dividend paying. So especially as we are looking to those that are going to pay interim in any moment from now. Those that are going to pay interim are the ones that to target in that banking sector. For that, if you are there, find way to come out. Let's want to wait for a longer period for it. For BOA, you know, BOA are not marked down for their dividend. And BOA, I'll tell you that the price there is, you know, I mean, it's not selling this sector within BOA. That means that if you are making profit in BOA, okay, but if not, then for me, it's enough for that stock. If you are waiting for 2 naira 6 kobo for stock for almost 72 naira, and it depends on the price you enter. If you enter the price like 6 naira 55, I would even say sell off now, because even when they mark down, unless the number they release is fantastic before you can maintain that uptrend. But for now, you can come out from BOA for now. But for Resta, I would say you should hold your position on Resta. Despite the number they released on their quarterly was not too fantastic, but because it has March as year end and March has ended already, and we're expecting those March accounts to release their unaudited result for the last quarter, which ended in March, and which also will give insight of how their full year is going to be, because that's the new law that if you want to release your result within this period, you want to wait to release your result within 90 days. You first of all release the period, but you are not releasing unaudited account. You must result before 60 days. Now, I believe most of them want to release those account to release their unaudited account in this month of April. When it comes, it gives us insight of what we're expecting to do. For me, hold on your rest time to watch and see the result for their unaudited account before you can jump on. Hello.
So what of Presco?
Presco result for me, 2 naira is not too good, but in terms of performance, I will tell you that Presco meets my investor standard and also beat most of market expectations. A good result should have a top line that is above 15%, and also the bottom line above 15%, which Presco did. The only fault there that they pay a flat number of 2 naira against, which is still almost 68, 70 naira. The 2 naira is poor compared to their earnings of 5 naira something. But that of Okomu, I'm paying 7 naira for almost 8 naira something earnings is a bit better. That's to say, Okomu is more stable. But look at yesterday, some people are selling Presco almost around 68, 67 because they want to exit because of the problem. But if you're a long-term investor, you want something to defend in terms of defensive stock in your portfolio, to my way, because the market going to the future, you can't have 100% prediction of what is going to happen. But if you want to play defensive in your portfolio, you can still leave it. But if you want to make money, if you have made appreciation more than that, you can come out first. Later, you can come back to the stock. But I'll show that this result you are seeing in Presco and Okomu, livestock, they are likely to maintain in this correct year because nothing has changed. Also, if you look at the reform in the sector that they want to even do more of palm oil, Nigeria government, and stuff, it's going to further impact those sector better going to this year. For me, if you're a trader, wait for the stock to pull back to enter. For your investor, just to balance your portfolio, fine. You can hold on. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, go on. Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello. What of access?
Access. Yeah, if you're in access, I would advise you hold on, take your dividend and hold on if you're in access. There's no panicking out. Hold your access, let them mark down to go up again. Hold on to your access. Access number, I show that access is really expanding. It's already reflecting on their top line. You should start showing on their bottom line. For me, if you're in access, take your dividend and hold. Yeah.
Thank you.
US, yes. What's happening to US?
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, with you. Hello.
Hello, sir. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, sir. Yeah. Any other question?
Okay. This people have talked about flour mill. Flour mill's year end is March 31st.
Yes.
So around flour mills, Zenith, and UCAP, we've in recent times see the acquisition by insiders, which I think is telling us that something is likely to happen. Like the flour mills, I think one director acquired some quantity this week when they publish it. Like what Elijah said, I think flour mills, by the time their results comes out, may have potential to go up and with an increase in dividends, because the directors buying more of it is an insight into what is expected of these companies.
Okay.
Be that as it may, I think one still need, if one is in profit, like you said, we can take out. But considering the sector that flour mills is operating, and I think they are enjoying the government incentives, I think they are very likely to do well. My own concern is on Honeywell. Honeywell is neither here nor there. What is your take on Honeywell?
Okay, I've said it on this program that the local stocks are likely to give you higher return because of their prices and movements. Yes, Honeywell is not here and there, but don't forget that Honeywell in the previous year started paying dividend again. They pay about 6 kobo dividend, which is low compared to the price. But because the March account is a March account, I also was expecting that the performance at the third quarter was positive. If that trend is also maintained, they might not pay you 6 kobo again. They might have to pay 10 kobo. Not only that, because it's a low cap stock, volume is always there. And now that they're having positive sentiment ahead of their result, for me, you can trade the stock, not for the dividend. You can enter the stock at a good price. When it moves, or clearly when the number, they release on the account any moment from now in this April, to give insight, even when the price goes up, if you come out, you might not wait for the dividend alone. But it's a stock that I feel that want to look at because of the sector is operating, and also the earnings season that is around this company to also guide you to take if you're a trader. They enter on time. Consider the last stock drop as low as even 1 naira 8 kobo before rebounding again. All those local stocks can give you money easily. If you use your technical analysis to know the right price to price, tell us we're expecting that earnings. Also, the sector is operating. We're seeing improvement in all those flour-related business in Nigeria, especially flour mill, Northern Nigeria flour mill, Honeywell. Their numbers for third quarter was not bad. It's a good one. For me, that's really low for a trader. You might not be investing in Honeywell for dividend, but for price movement, you can enter Honeywell.
Okay. What is your take on the GTB? We've seen for the past 2 days, 75 and 15, that is 90 kobo improvement in price after it was marked down. I know one of us here said that GTB after markdown will always go up to equalize the market price before markdown. Are we looking at it?
Actually, the person said it, it's not that the person said it, it's a trend that has been established in GTB. The person has followed the trend for almost more than 5 years. It has been, but what happened that day, he tried to regain the stock. After the markdown, he only came back just 40 kobo because I studied too. That same day it was markdown. He came back only just 40 kobo for the markdown. That's why it was not significant for us to know that he came back that day. It's not because of the market condition, but for me, if you are in the stock, now that we've paid dividend on Friday, I think that you should all hold on. The first quarter also look good because of the trend. And for me, being a leader in the industry, and in terms of price, you might not say in terms of payout and other stuff, but in terms of price and that, you can use it to talk, hold on and watch and see how it goes. But if you are seeing profit after the markdown, nothing stops you in selling the GTP and enter the house value. But always look at how the price movement, as you just said, try to gain back again. But if you can buy at this price and you move back to around 32 again, 33, you're already in profit. You can come out. For me, this low price is attractive to enter GTP. If your first quarter result come and you beat expectation, one can start flying at that particular time. But for now, for me, it's a good buy. Since that it's ahead of their first quarter, they've marked down, they paid their dividend. Let's wait for the first quarter. If you enter at 28 something or 29, it's not a bad one. Then when it moves back to 32, it depends on what happened after the economic data we're expecting and the earnings that are hitting the market will direct the market again. That's what I'm thinking that will direct the market going forward. Yeah. Liquidity is very
key. Ambrose, how will the agreement involving flour mill, Dangote sugar, and Boa sugar, how are we looking at that sector with the agreement they're having now over Boa?
Sugar price and adjustment and all those stuff. For me, I would say let us not look more on that side because the big men are the one fighting. But I believe that for flour mill, it's not only just for the sugar. Flour mill is also a form of they're into agriculture, any somehow and logistics, and that may sustain their own performance. But for Boa and Dangote sugar, but I believe that it can be sorted out. The industry regulator will always look at it after they have. But for this flour mill, we're explaining the result. I don't see that affecting them because before the problem started emanating in our hearing now, well, the financial years have ended for 2021 March. For me, you started there about just 3 days ago, which is already in another quarter. I don't see it much affecting their performance. For me, let's look forward to their their common result that or if you are there in flour mill, just hold on. I believe most of you that attended we discuss something around that angle. If you are in that position, just hold on and watch. Don't just exit your position because of the news we are hearing. Because one, the financial year has ended, and also I know that this news is not going to affect even any of them because it is the consumers that are coming, and the rate of comment. If the price of this one is cheaper, they prefer if they are having tried to control manipulate price, because the consumers will know. Because sugar are not only for industrial use. For me, let's just leave them and watch until they come out with a solution. Hello, sir. Are you there? Hello. Hello, sir. Are you there?
Yes, thank you very much. I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Let's start running up with questions so that we can draw the curtain to almost one. Let's start running up. Any questions?
Sorry, Ambrose, please, what's your take on USCN? What's your take on USCN? And based on what they're doing, given that what they are paying is special dividend, they cannot continue to sell assets every year. So this is one-off. So with the 65 kobo declared and the 55 kobo on special dividend, as well as the UPDC rates that the owners will qualify for. So what do you think the best price to, because the thing rallied after the information, but the momentum waned and it's now coming down from 990 to about 930 where it closed. So at this point, what would you recommend?
Yeah, for me, for those that are, there are different categories of people in the market, different categories of investors. If you are an income investor, can still look the way of the stock. For a trader, you still have to wait and watch. But for me, the dividend yield of this stock is still high. Looking at the report, as you mentioned, it's one-off. One-off means that they might not sustain this payment going forward. But because also we are seeing improvement in their earnings, and also the subsidiaries that contribute to that group are becoming solid. Look at CAP. CAP is just expanding their print business so that they can take advantage of the market because this infrastructure drive of the government is also coming up powerfully, and it's also contribute to the bottom line of USC. Look at also the livestock we just mentioned. Livestock is doing well. Now they are not paying them now. You see that for their full year, they grew their earnings more than almost 300% in livestock. I see that this is also going to contribute going forward because of what they are also like a conglomerate company in terms of that USC. But for those that want to trade the stock, for me, anything 9 naira, you can still jump in at 9 naira or 890, you can jump in. As you go back to around 11 naira, you can open come out. I see that when liquidity starts flowing in, especially as we're looking at inflation, if it comes, as we speak now, the yield in that stock is almost 12% or around that, with the price that dropping to 930 and it paying 2 naira, 1 naira 20. Tell you that it will be an attraction for that stock for now. For me, if you are there, just hold on. But those that want to trade anything between that 9 naira and 890, you can also jump in. But for those that already don't hold on, because the stock is likely also to bounce back. When liquidity start leaving other investment to the equity market, as we're expecting to see some economic data that will also guide flow of funds going to the investor accounts. Hello.
Thank you, Mr. Ambrose.
Hello.
Thank you. Please. Hello, Mr. Ambrose. Hello.
Hello,
Mr. Ambrose. Okay. I thank you so much for the explanation thus far. Please, I'm sorry if I'm asking questions that may look like, but I just want to know, as assets marked down, as UCAP marked down?
Yes, UCAP have marked down, assets have not marked down. Assets marked down either on the 14th of April or 15th of April. Assets have not marked down.
Okay.
Marked down already.
Okay. Now I want to know your position on Nament. Then I was on May and Baker tour yesterday. I tried to buy at 4 naira 5 kobo, but it didn't go. But later I saw that the stock closed at 3 naira 95, and I was wondering. I mean, 3 naira 95 is lower than the price That's May and Baker. I was not thinking how come my yes, what would be the issue?
That should be the market. I don't know the time you key it in, that should be the market, but the price you key in is higher than the price you close. Also, every day the market has the highest for the day, low for the day before it close. Right, it open the high for the day. If it's within this range, you should have have access to have your own. But it depends on market. Or you can also position on Monday. When it can take position, there's no problem. For me, America, it's still okay. The results are looking around. The sector is also enjoying some sentiment and government incentive. For me, you can still go back and see how you can get it tomorrow. But if you can get that stock below 4 naira, I said that would be fantastic.
Okay, sir.
May and Baker actually closed at 420. Yes, well, I just checked. Maybe at the point when it was trading, a few trades may have been done at 395.
Okay.
But not enough. Yeah, not enough to change the price of the market. So it closed at 420 where it opened.
Yes. Okay, because I checked the back office of my trading, and what I saw was last price 395. Okay. What of Nament, sir?
For me, Nimet also, we're expecting Nimet second quarter result. Year end. Nimet also low price stock. I told you that UCAP stocks are the ones that are likely to move the market this period. You should stop looking at those high caps. Those high caps have potential, but now the market is for those medium and low cap stocks that has fundamental. For me, the Nimet, they pay Cisco, which is not enough for the price. But they are coming up before they've not paid dividend for a long time. Paying Cisco is a good one. For me, if for the price, at this price now, it's okay for you to enter Nimet. If the results also beat expectation, as we expect the second quarter, we're going to give you, more strength or momentum to decide to go up. You can buy Nimet for trading purpose. Yeah, for trading purpose. Because their dividend payout has not really improved, until earnings also improve further that direction. But for capital acquisition, Nimet. Before round up for today, I want to look at two stocks. Yeah, the two stocks I have for today, for me, for those in the group, is Owando and hello, Owando. Yeah, okay.
Zenith Bank.
Zenith Bank. What is it? The buy range or what? Zenith Bank. What are you saying in Zenith Bank? Let me know. Hello. What exactly are you looking at in Zenith Bank? Okay. The two stocks I have for today is one.
What's the position of Zenith Bank? Is it for one to hold or to buy?
You can buy.
No, they are first.
You can buy, you can hold. You can buy, you can hold. No problem. We are expecting their first quarter result. And I told you that in the last 52 years, from our own research, on their quarterly basis and yearly basis, they grow their earnings. Yes, it depends on liquidity in the market, but once they see that Zenith Bank has started on a good footing for the year, on a good note, with going their earnings first quarter, it will also redirect funds to Zenith Bank, knowing that a store that pay you 3 naira should not sell anything below 30 naira, but now selling around 29, selling at a discount. For me, is for people to start taking position, because if you can afford to pay 3 naira for a year, the result, their price at this price for me is a giveaway. That's why if you are there, hold, you can probably buy more.
What are the two stocks you recommended? Yeah, I heard Owando.
Looking at Owando and Livestock. And Owando, I've worked with Owando. Owando, I want to just share relationship for Owando before we wrap up. Owando for almost 3 years now, it does release specification to the exchange on what, on corporate governance and on accounting reports. Okay. For me, it's a clue that this might be coming back with something good if they're able to sort themselves out with the regulators. Like, I believe that they should even settle all this in out of court, and now the court have referred them back to IST. I believe IST has to, methodology to settle this thing amicably with them. If that is done, I think that would Owando a little up. That means if you are buying Owando between 290 could go 295 to around 330 or 340, for me, it's a good buy. So that when Owando anything happen and it moves to around 455 naira, you can take your short-term profit. For those that, for me, for those that really want to stay there for a long time, for dividend, don't invest stock for dividend, but for capital appreciation. That means enter there and money that you don't need to trade any other one, because the other stuff you can trade. But I believe that seeing this kind of report, mean that something likely to come out from it. When I saw it, I don't laugh and say, so why don't waking up? It just tell you that they are likely to do something. Let's see how they handle the case between themselves and the regulator. Now they refer them to the tribunal. For me, it's a good one. But and also, it's a store that you can trade volume at any time. You can enter Wando, I give it 10%, sell off immediately. That store with terms of volume, that settle, I give it to Wando. For that, one of the stocks to trade for the another one is livestock. Livestock price has been oscillating between 2 naira to around 160, 169. That is the last price. For me, that trend is okay, because anytime you break out the 2 naira again, you might like to touch 240, 235 before the stock has put down. That means you can take advantage of this little oscillation that is doing within this range and enter. And when the first quarter comes and you see the number, you also attract funds to the stock again and push the price up. For me, these are the two stocks we're having for this week: Owando and the livestock. See you. Is there another question before we round up?
Yes, Alhaji is still in the house. I want him to shed more light on Owando and Union Bank. Union Bank. Okay. Because in recent times, the quantity traded on Union Bank is becoming slimmer.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But for me, if Alhaji will throw more light for Union Bank, I think it's a stock that we know that there is information going around the market. They might not be confirmed, but on that, they'll be volume for more than a month. Seeing it coming down now, for me, it's not surprise, but we're sure that information will still come. And the company will pay us to 25 kobo even when the rumor is going to maintain that. Let us start patient and see what's expecting to them to let us know very soon. But I know that very soon information will emanate from that bank. So if you are there, don't panic because the volume is going down. Hold on your position if you are there already. Yeah. Let's see whether Alhaji has a...
Hello. Yeah, hello. Please, may I please know Alhaji's view on Transcorp?
Okay.
Maybe, I'm sorry if I missed it, man.
No, Alhaji is in the house already. You threw more light. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello?
Hello?
No, I'm hello, sir. But for Transcorp, I said earlier on this program on Transcorp that when they release their results, and it's not so attractive, it's not down position. And surprisingly now, when they release their results, it's not but they still pay their normal workable the previous year, workable. And for me, it's nothing, but you can take the workable. But seeing the price at this rate, for me, it's not a bad buy, because I'm seeing that at the end of this, not first quarter, at the end of the half year, you must start seeing improvement in their numbers. If that happens, the price will move up. That means can use this opportunity to accumulate transport and wait, especially if you're a long-term investor. I even traders that has fund enter now. Like even when the first quarter come, first quarter will still give you insight of what have happened for the last 3 months. But I'm saying that I'm expecting the result to start turning positive from second quarter, end of second quarter, I would half year for me. But those that are there can still hold on. Then when if you are bought high around 120 people, can take the opportunity to
thank you so much.
To release your position.
Ambrose, this is Lawrence. I have a question.
But is Wando a liquid stock?
Very, very liquid.
Ambrose, I have a question on that transfer. Okay. They said they acquired that OML 17. I don't know, with this result that they have released, is there anything in that result that show that that asset is under the control of Wando? Maybe there is an increase in not an increase in their profit or an increase in their revenue, but is there something like an increase in their asset base? Because if they acquire an asset like that one, I might be wrong, I'm not a detailed person like you. I'm thinking that if you look at their asset base in their reports, it should reflect an increase to show that, okay, we've acquired this asset, even if their net profit and stuff like that is going down because they haven't started making money from it.
Yes, yeah. I think the question you asked is what you asked the right question, and I'll tell you their assets and share platform is looking up. It tells you that the assets is for them, no problem. Because that's what supposed to ask. Look at their shareholders fund, their net asset. Is this still an improvement compared to the previous year? It's an uptrend. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. On this note, it's 1 o'clock.
Hello, Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, please can you add WAPCO to the list they asked Alaji to make some analysis about?
Like Alaji is not that, but I've not seen Alaji now. I've checked there. It's like not in the house now. Okay.
Okay. What's your own view on WAPCO, sir?
Okay, it's here. Alaji is here. I see that it's still there. Hold on. Let me see that. Alaji, sir. He's here. Alaji is in the house. I don't know. Whether it's not hearing us, it's in the house. Okay, for WAPCO, if you're in WAPCO already, just hold on to your WAPCO. Because one, the sector where WAPCO is operating, I see potential in that sector in terms of what? In terms of activities, which is going to impact on WAPCO number. And also, their one that they are paying is around the end of April, and their first quarter will come within that period. And if their first quarter is positive, that will maintain the stock and uptrend support. For me, if you are there, just hold on. The 1 naira dividend is not much. When they mark down, it won't tell much on the price. And if the numbers they are using are good, and people seeing the potential of the stock, I believe the price will look up. Yet, if you are free to sell at 26, 28, you are already there to now take your dividend and not expect that the trend we saw in 2020 in terms of number should be maintained. If that is sustained this period, I see what going up. But now that some of us have missed to exit, before it come to this price, I would advise you to exit again. Just take your dividend and wait more. But if the number maintains an uptrend, I see it going back again. Yeah, especially we expect that liquidity start coming back to the market. These are the stocks that is undervalued and mispriced that people will be likely to look at when the funds are coming back to the market again. Hello? Hello?
Yes, I'm Bruce. We are with you.
Okay, yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, it's Alaji in the house, but it's like whether connection is there, have an issue. On that note, we might have to conclude the meeting today at this level. Then our next meeting, we can read it to if Alaji so that can address it. I'm giving you answer to all those questions, but let's use additional
Mr. Ambrose, thank you for every time. And this is your master's class. Okay. When is the next one holding?
No,
and how can one join?
No, the next one we're holding on the last Saturday of June.
Oh, so it's a 3-month class?
Yes, 90 days class. 90 days.
Is it a 90 days thing or just 1 week?
Just 90 days thing. 90 days thing, yeah.
So one cannot join this your ongoing one again?
The one who have done that, we have
so one cannot join this one.
No,
that is
cannot join this one now. We have done it. We have a group that we have married. Then the next one will come. But if you are in buy and sell signal, it's okay. But for the next master class, will be coming in the last Saturday of June.
So you didn't put me buy and sell signal. You didn't fix me up in any of this group. Buy and sell signal or whatever. I'm not in any.
Oh yeah, let's talk after the program. No problem.
No, I've been talking. Hey, give me your number that will work. The numbers I have don't work.
But my number does work. I'm surprised.
Yes.
Hello, Ambrose.
Hold on, sir. Let me give out my number. 08028.
I'm taking it. 1 second, please.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Ambrose, I'm taking it. Go ahead.
281-640-85. Yeah.
What is it? Is it 281 or what?
080-281-640-85.
What?
Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah.
You hit your head on the floor. What do you want me to do?
Hello, can you hear me now? 080-281-640-85. Yeah.
080-281-640-85. 25.
Yeah, 640-85. 640-85.
Oh, okay. 640-85.
Yeah. Okay, the last question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah.
Hello, Ambrose.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you promised to put all of us that attended master class in the Telegram. I've not seen one.
Okay. I'll even put something there this morning. Okay, send me hi on my WhatsApp so that I put it to the IT guy. They will add you immediately, sir.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, please, Oga Ambrose, do you intend to make the materials of the master's class available?
No, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello, let somebody pray for us. A Christian brother pray for us before we start. Let a Muslim brother pray for us or sister to round up the class.
Let us pray. We thank you, Almighty God, for today. We thank you for all the discussions, the deliberations. We thank you for Mr. Ambrose. We pray that you continue to bless Ambrose, increase his foresight, increase his knowledge, and for all of us on this platform, help us to achieve our investment goals. At the end of the year, let us be smiling to the bank. We pray by your mighty name.
Amen.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you all. Have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Nice weekend. Yeah.
We are very grateful. We will compensate you with our bounties very soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ma. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Okay, thank you, Ambrose. God bless you.
Ambrose.